welcome. Hope you're enjoying this balmy weather outside. Is it hit above zero yet? Probably not. It's so good to see everybody. Welcome to the first virtual behind the scenes event here with DMI. We're so excited to be here. We're letting a few more people in as we get going, but it's good to see everybody. Hello, Stephanie, Anita, Emily, Deb, Susan, Chris. This is a great group. Colleen, Susie, Yankel, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is good. We're just letting a few more people in here. We've got a nice group. We wish, though, we were actually live for this event. Alan and Rosanna, though, we're going to, hopefully we're going to be able to take a real tour once we get past COVID and see this wonderful space. So today, we're excited. We've got Roseanne Sheridan and Alan Ebert from the Children's Theater of Madison to give us a wonderful virtual facilitated tour of the Madison Youth Art Center. May 1st, they say it's going to be open. It is just days away from opening this amazing facility on Mifflin in the heart of downtown. Before we get going here, though, we absolutely have to thank our sponsors today, our friends at Hush Blackwell. Paul Jarmowski from our board, we are so thankful for all that they do for downtown. Great law firm. And Thompson Investment Management with Jason. I mean, how could he not have a better name than that? So thank you to our friends at Hush Blackwell and Thompson Investment Management. But our lead sponsor for the behind the scenes and always very helpful in finding new locations for us. So Marissa's new to this job, but Marissa, we'll be calling you and George and Jeannie for recommendations for behind the scenes. But we knew we had to start with the Madison Youth Arts Center here today. It is my honor, I think I might be one of the first people to do this, to welcome Marissa Young, the new Director of Business Development for our friends at J.P. Cullen. Marissa, it's so good to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. And as our lead sponsor, she's going to say some opening words about all the great work that J.P. Cullen is doing throughout downtown Madison area and throughout the state of Wisconsin. Marissa, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Jason. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with J.P. Cullen, we are a construction management and general contracting firm, and we work primarily in the education, healthcare, industrial, science and technology, and the commercial markets. J.P. Cullen is a family-owned company currently in the 5th generation of Cullen leadership, with George Cullen and Jeannie Cullen Schultz as co-presidents. J.P. Cullen has been building in Madison for nearly 100 years, really beginning back with the addition of the Bascom Hall back in 1925. So many decades later, you can still see many of the iconic structures that we've built, including the Rehearsal Justice Center, many additions to the UW Hospital, as well as multiple projects to Camp Randall and the UW-Madison campus. We're also involved with the primary construction of Judge Doyle Square and the renovations fundamental to revitalizing the downtown, including the 10-year renovation of the state's capitol. So we have so many projects going on underway right now, currently in kind of the downtown Madison area, working with UW Health, the VA Hospital, Unity Point Health Meritor, and we were just recently awarded the UW-Madison's new natatorium and gymnasium project, which is slated to begin next month. So as you can see, we're so rooted in Madison, specifically in the downtown Madison area, and we're very proud to be a sponsor and a partner to DMI.
Well, Marissa, fantastic work. J.P. Cullen, I didn't know if I could say anything about the natatorium, so thank you. Huge project for downtown, huge project for tourism here in the city. These pool facilities are quite important now with the new surf plus this facility. Very thankful for all that our friends at J.P. Cullen do. Huge hello to Jeannie and to George, but if you haven't got a chance to meet Marissa, I hope that we can get together soon because she's just an awesome person. So welcome to J.P. Cullen and welcome to the team here with Behind the Scenes. Now, my honor also to introduce Mr. Alan Ebert, the Executive Director of Madison's Children's Theater, and I hope a good friend, although we haven't connected in quite some time. He did give me a nice COVID-safe tour a few months ago, but I haven't seen him since then, so sorry I've been a bad friend, but welcome. We're excited for you to kick off the show to talk about this amazing Madison Youth Arts Center that will absolutely game change downtown and truly make downtown a place where all children are welcome. And if you make a downtown space great for children, like Deb Galpin and the team that are on this call with the Children's Museum have done, that absolutely makes a difference. If you make it suitable for 6-year-old, it's also suitable for an 86-year-old. And the Madison Youth Arts Center is doing that. Alan, can't wait. Let's take the tour.
Well, thank you so much, Jason, for that introduction. And I see so many familiar faces on this screen, and I wish we were together, right? You know, Jason and DMI usually have a nice spread, right? You know, there's, you know, some nice beverages, some nice food, then you go on a tour, we talk and interact, and this is just a different way. Soon, hopefully we'll be together. You know, we try to exude our passion to our youth through screens right now, which I can tell you they're sick of screens, but we're doing our best to connect with everybody. So thank you for this opportunity to reconnect with all of you. Roseanne and I, as well as the Madison youth choirs and the entire team of the Madison Youth Arts Center, have been really busy with that project, but we're also having to figure out how to navigate COVID with Children's Theater of Madison. And I see, you know, Emily here and Chris from Overture Center. And I mean, we're all navigating. Everyone on the screen is navigating, but I know that you all do great work with youth as well. So thank you for all you do. So as we go through the presentation today, we are going to look at how are we doing? How are we navigating? What did the past look like? What does the present look like? And what, as I told Jason earlier, the Renaissance, what will that look like? So I'm really excited. So without further ado, I am so happy to introduce the one and amazing Roseanne Sheridan, the artistic director and my partner in crime with Children's Theater of Madison. So Roseanne.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be working with Alan for the last 5.5, almost 6 years now. He's really made a difference in the Children's Theater of Madison and in the arts in our community. So it's a great partnership. Just thought we'd give you, you know, our new home is going to be at the Youth Arts Center. We, as Alan said, we're one of several organizations two organizations that will be the anchor partners there, and many organizations that will be living and doing programming there. Thought we'd just give you a little bit of an inside scoop into CTM specifically, because some of you may know us, may not know us. And so, you know, who we are and what we do is really a big part of going in depth into why is this facility going to make such a difference in our community and for our organization. So I'm just going to share my screen and give you a little sort of overview of CTM and who we are. So we've been in the community for over 50 years, and our mission is to create vibrant theater experiences that engage, and educate, and inspire young people and their communities. Certainly now more than ever, inclusion, diversity, and equity are extremely important, and they are certainly guiding principles for everything that we do. And this new facility is going to be based a lot on these principles so that it is a welcoming space for all youth from all backgrounds and all walks of life. So that is a real core value of CTM for decades, and it will continue to be a core value of the new center at large. CTM has two major operational aspects, and these will be very much supported by, and the growth of these will be really influenced by this new home that we'll be in. Main stage productions and our educational programs. A lot of people know us by our main stage productions, but a lot of people don't know how much we have going on behind the scenes in education through classes and training and through our school engagement program. You might know us from our main stage productions, such as A Midsummer Night's Dream, and you know we have adult actors and youth actors next to each other side by side throughout. And of course our signature production, A Christmas Carol, it's been done for over 45 years. We do classic musicals like The Wizard of Oz, plays and musicals for younger audiences like A Year with Frog and Toad, professional actors engaging in all kinds of different programming, from big scale shows like Fiddler on the Roof, young adult dramas like Esperanza Rising, a play about migrant workers in the 30s, And also, you know, challenging work for our young adults and middle school and high schoolers, like And Then They Came for Me, which is a young adult drama about the Holocaust. These are just some of the programs that we have, some of our productions over the years. This one was Disney's Aladdin. It was a dual language version in both English and Spanish. Our school engagement program is really a big part of what we do. We bring in thousands and thousands of young people from all across Wisconsin and multiple counties to see school matinee performances. A lot of those are in the Playhouse. We also bring them in to see A Christmas Carol. And we'll continue this as we move into our new home, where we'll have a 300-seat theater that we'll be performing many of our shows in. Not all of them, but most of them. Education is really at the core of everything that we do, and it was really the educational aspect that drove the founding and the building of this new facility. We were spread all over downtown in church basements, in abandoned storefronts, in every nook and cranny of the Overture Center, in the Madison Opera rehearsal space, in the library, everywhere you can think of, to the point where nobody really knew where CTM was. And only the kids and their parents that dropped them off for a class would know where they go. And we have classes year-round and serve hundreds of kids and have an incredible summer program, which will be extremely well served by this new facility. You know, we believe that theater skills are life skills, and that's one of the things that makes it really important for us to keep being able to do what we do. Building confidence, giving kids a sense of responsibility and time management, helping them to really understand and develop a wider worldview and learn more about themselves and each other. We have more than ever now leaned into what we call the Jedi lens, which is justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. We try to look at everything through that lens now. The new center will be a place that is built on that principle, and so that everything from color palettes to design elements to all kinds of different elements having to do with the welcoming nature of that building is being thought about, looked at, discussed, and designed. You know, theater really does develop empathy and compassion, and that's certainly a quote from To Kill a Mockingbird, another beautiful production that we did several times in our history, and we'll probably do again because it's a timeless classic. And, you know, bringing forward new innovative thinking, future leaders, and really transforming lives through the power of theater. This and all and so much more will be really helped by this new center, because it will give us a chance that kids that are coming in not just for CTM, but for the Madison Youth Choirs, ballet, dance, hip hop, visual arts, they'll all come through the same doors. And we believe that by doing that, they're going to be able to take an interest in each other and in different types of art forms. And all together, it's all about cultivating joy and a sense of self-worth. And that's what theater does. And that's what we are looking forward to being able to really develop even further and take to the next level in this new space. So many of you have known of CTM primarily probably through A Christmas Carol. So that's our signature production. It's been around for 45 years. Even this year, we were able to do a virtual production of it. But I think this next, you're going to see a video now that's really about A Christmas Carol, but it really also captures what CTM is all about, as well as what we believe the arts are all about. So here's a little behind the scenes look of our signature show, A Christmas Carol.
This production has so much heart, is so faithful to Dickens. I love that about it.
It's more fantastical than almost any other play that you're going to run into. I mean, there are ghosts, there are these ideas that we have that you could only do in the theater, that have manifested as people, as spirits.
It is a story of how somebody stone-hearted and unforgiving can go from being that to being one of the kindest people around. It's not good for someone to go through being bad and cold-hearted, but it is important going from bad and cold-hearted to kind and nice and open to everyone.
It's really important that Scrooge meets past because he has to remember that he could have been this man for the rest of his life.
The other thing that's really special about it is just the community of people that are telling the story. You know, it's such a great combination of young people who are maybe doing their first play ever to equity actors who work out at American Players. I mean, this wide diversity of people.
It just seems that the story is about being aware, awake to what's around us, and it's people.
So that's a little taste of what goes into the making of A Christmas Carol and the people. But, you know, theater builds community, and CTM has been built on the community of Madison and Dane County for over 50 years. And it's really the community support and the community involvement that has made us grow as much as we have. A Christmas Carol alone brings in over 7,000 people annually. It's one of our most expensive productions. It costs almost $185,000 to produce. We have the largest cast show that we do. It's usually upwards of 40 actors, 20 some kids, and just as many adults. So it's a big undertaking every year, and it's our anchor, but it's not the only thing that we do, as you know. And we're looking forward to how all of this is going to continue to grow and change as the Renaissance occurs, as we say, we come back from COVID and are able to be in front of audiences again. But again, really what we're here today about behind the scenes is really to talk about, like, you see productions when they hit the stage, but what you don't see is all of the work that goes in backstage, all of the rehearsal time, all of the classes that we teach, all of the educational components. And that's what was the catalyst for this new center, was to be a home for really arts education and youth development. So that we have this wonderful performance facility with Overture Center, and we'll have some performance facilities as well in the new building. But really what we needed was a place to elevate the process so that kids feel a degree of respect and ownership over what it takes to get to the place where they can walk out on stage or complete their training. So I know we have a lot to go over, and we thought what we'd do is break it up a little bit. So if you had any like burning questions right now, we could address some of those questions, and then after that we're going to do the tour of the new space, and then we'll have a little time to talk a little bit more about programming and the future. So anybody have any questions, either in the chat or live? I'm looking that we want to ask at this point.
Quiet group. Well, we got time built in for more questions later too.
We do.
Great.
All right, so, how do kids get involved? Yeah, so our auditions are open to everyone, classes are open to everyone, and I really want to emphasize everyone, because while our main stage productions are more selective because they have a more demanding rehearsal time, and the level of talent and skill needs to be there, and there's a lot of talent in the kids in our community, amazing amount of talent. Our classes are also very accessible, and we have financial assistance available for every class. We will never turn a student away for lack of money, that's for sure. That is a fundamental philosophy that we have, and something we've adhered to forever. So there's always financial assistance involved, tuition waivers, and we have and all of that you can get information from our website. There's lots of information on there.
Yeah, and I think one thing too is just how to be brave, and we celebrate uniqueness. I mean, that's one thing that I love about CTM, is that we love individuality. We want them to come in. We want them to be brave. We want them to take risks. And that's part of the skills that they learn with doing the classes and being part of the program is how to navigate that, right? How to make mistakes and learn from them, or just discover new things from them, right? So it's really fun to watch a child come in and blossom. And again, everyone has a different experience and a unique experience, and someone might come in and might not have that experience, which is okay. At least they tried. And also there's just varying levels too. You know, there are some youth that grow really fast or change really fast, and there are others where it's a longer journey, which is fun to watch as well. So, but each one is impactful in its own way. So.
Great. As Jason said, we have time as we go along in different segments for more questions. So let's just keep going and get you to the building.
Yes. So we are going to do a quick tour. Before we do, I just want to talk a little bit about the team. CG Schmidt is our contractor, and there's a wonderful project manager, Nicole Coulier, who's amazing. We call her the Cooler. That's her nickname. Navigating everything on site. Epstein Ewan Architects have done an amazing job designing this building. And then, of course, Madison Youth Choirs and CTM as partners who have been navigating and working through everything, as well as a wonderful board of directors and a lot of community input. So again, it takes a village, it takes a community for a project like this to happen. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and play the tour.
We want to take you inside on a virtual tour of this amazing space. Let's go. So here, you're back in the main lobby. Over here, we'll have a wonderful welcoming desk with a beautiful light feature. So the two main entrances to the building are from the parking garage and from...
I'm over here, the new stairway that's going to go up to all 4 floors. We call this the grand staircase. There's glass everywhere. There's going to be artwork on the walls. It's really coming along. Should we go up?
Yeah, let's go up.
Let's go up.
Welcome to the 2nd floor of the Madison Youth Arts Center. All floors have this similar open lobby concept where the elevator is open, the stair empties onto. And what's really interesting about this floor, the ceiling heights are really high. And this floor houses our largest classroom studios outside of the 4th floor where the performance spaces are. So we have 7 large studios, dance studios on this floor. And we're gonna walk this way down the hall and see where Roseanne's at. Roseanne! Here she is.
Here I am! Come on down. I am outside of one of the 2 dance studios. Wait till you see what's coming up in here. So this is going to be one of the dance studios. You can see there's mirrors all on the walls there. And there'll be a spunky marble floor, a dance floor put down. It's really big and spacious. There'll be dance bars and all kinds of different things to make this a beautiful space for dance. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. All of these studios, by the way, also have built-in sound. So you can come in with your Bluetooth phone and connect right to the system and be able to play music. So another thing I wanted to point out on the tour is how is this building going to feel and what will it look like? Well, a lot of the look and feel will come from the art that is going to be displayed on these walls. We have over 400 linear feet of art rail in this facility, so it will feel with like whatever art is in the building. So we're going to be working with youth from community centers, schools, the community itself, and each floor could be different, the whole building could be the same, but we're really excited to have the space to be able to put visual art.
You're looking out the window now onto East Mifflin Street from the 3rd floor of this beautiful building. And we're coming into what's called the community room. And this is where we'll have lounge area, place for people to study, to wait for their friends or their student to come out of the class, to get a bite to eat, to congregate together and share ideas. And as you walk down this path, so we're going past what will be like a whole kitchen area and vending and cafe. And then down this way, we have the entrance to what's going to be the office spaces. And there's Alan waiting to meet you.
Hello everybody, you are now entering the administrative area for the Madison Youth Arts Center. I like to call it the creative hub. What is going to be amazing about this space, and I'll take my mask off so you can hear me a little better, is there's going to be a lot of youth arts leaders, interns, creative minds working in here, and it's going to be great to share ideas and dream big about what we can do for youth through art in this facility. So as you go around, you'll see on the exterior, we have 15 enclosed office spaces. And then on the interior over here, we will have 14 workstations and 9 hoteling stations.
Now, if we come down this hallway, we're leading into our conference room and our break room and our costume shop. So now we're coming up to the 4th floor. And even though we're taking these wonderful stairs up, there are elevators, so you don't have to walk up all these stairs if you don't want to. But it's a great aerobic exercise. And look at the view up here. Oh my goodness, every time I come up here, I'm just excited beyond words. So we're standing in the lobby of the 4th floor, which is where the 2 performance spaces are housed, and where we have lots of room for special programs and events and pre-show activities and classes and gathering for kids to gather and enjoy each other in between classes and rehearsals. So yeah.
Yeah, and just to orient just a little bit, over to our left, you'll see there are social stairs there, so that can be another little performance area. And behind it, that's the black box theater that we'll take you into. And then straight ahead, over those boxes, because we are still in construction, over the boxes, that's the main theater. And then we have a hallway down to our left here that takes you to more classroom studio space. Right over here to our right, what I'm really excited about, this door all the way to that door over there, this is a front patio that is an outdoor green space where people can sit. It also could be used for programming, and we're really excited. And it also has an amazing view of the Capitol. So if you follow me, right now it's full of construction gear and the pavers that will go on this front patio, but this is a beautiful space. And if you turn and look over here, you can see the Capitol building right off on the horizon. And we get some beautiful sunsets.
Oh, here we are. So this is a studio theater where we can move the chairs around and make it into different configurations. It'll also be one of the principal rehearsal spaces for CTM, especially for Christmas Carol. But you can see there's catwalks up here where we've been hanging lighting instruments, and we can seat about 100 or 120 people in this, depending on how we arrange the chairs. And it'll be an opportunity to do more really intimate theater and some theater for youngest audiences that aren't quite ready to sit in seats in a traditional theater. And also special readings, play readings, recitals, concerts, things like that can all happen in this space. So it's a really exciting, adaptable space for all kinds of different purposes.
Hey Roseanne, I fixed that light!
All right! There he is up in the catwalk.
Hey everybody, this is over here, the tech mezzanine, and I just crawled up the stairs, or not crawled up, but took the stairs up to this portion of the theater.
Wow. Can you get enough light on the... So, we are standing in what's going to be the audience. And we're probably in the middle of and we're looking at the stage, and there's a big part of the stage. It's like a half moon that's going to get put in right in front of what you're seeing right now. So there won't be a big gap there. That's where the seats will start rising up from down there and rising to the back.
And just so people are aware, there are 300 seats in the theater, and the stage is approximately the same size as the Capitol Theater stage in the Overture Center. You're going to go on stage with us. You're making your debut. So as you come in, this is what we call the wing space of the theater. And so now in the wings, you're about ready to enter. You're going to be making your debut. Don't get nervous. And boom! You enter. You let your voice be heard.
Bravo! Bravo! Look at that audience. They're all standing and applauding for you. All 300 of them. You're looking out there, and that's where the technical mezzanine and all the lighting will be housed. And we're on the stage under the lights with scenery and all kinds of stuff around us.
As Roseanne said earlier, it's a little deceptive because over here we're going to have a hard wall or hard cyc to be able to splash lights on. But then out from the stage here, this goes out another 16 feet with portable risers that we would be setting up. So it actually extends the stage from front to back quite significantly. So you just exited the theater, and we have this beautiful glass all the way down. So if you remember, way down there is where we entered the 4th floor. And over here, between the other entrance and this entrance and exit to the theater, this is going to be our donor wall. So anyone who donates $1,000 or more, up to our $35 million goal, their name will be represented on this wall. So this will be a living history of those donors who made this possible. And we're just so thankful so far for all the community support. And it's really going to be a fun, interactive donor wall, which we will be unveiling very soon.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on this tour. We hope to be able to show you some more work in a few months, but anybody that wants any information, just go to MadisonYouthArts.org, and that's the home of this. And of course, always come and talk to us at the Children's Theater of Madison. Thanks for being here on this beautiful winter day.
Thank you for joining us. See you soon.
Nice to have you.
That was some impressive filming there, wasn't it? We thank Trevin who went along with us on that ride. You know, we do live theater, right? We're not about making movies and TV shows. So this is thank you so much for going on that tour. I'm gonna share my screen quickly just so that you can see. Oops. Let me go here. All right, and there. So this is what it's being slow. Slow down. So this is what the rendering looks like. So the outside so you saw the red window in the video, and Roseanne and I were standing right here when we started, and we went in. So all that glass, the main staircase we went through, and then in the corners we have. Again, we wanted to let in as much natural light as possible into the studios, into the building itself. We also have an amazing back patio that we didn't show you. That's almost 3,000 square feet, another space where, again, youth during the day, if they want to have lunch, go out, get something to eat. It could be a programming space. There could be a small performance out there. And the unique feature too is because of city codes, our 4th floor had to sit back 15 feet. So that's why you can kind of see it up here, it's set back, and actually goes over the parking garage that we share with Stonehouse Development. Again, Stonehouse has been an amazing partner, and we worked with them to be able to build on this property. So cars can go in here, and there's a sidewalk on the inside that youth can safely get out of their cars, enter the facility from the covered tempered parking garage. There's also right down here are 3 large indents we're working with Dane Arts Mural Arts, and there will be 3 large art murals created by youth in our community with Dane Arts Mural Arts leading that process. So really excited about that. Yeah, so, and then I'm just going to, this is a side view, so you kind of get a great idea of that motion. We talked a lot about harmony, melody, harmony, and movement to create some fun. So you get the fun colors as you go down here. Lots of bike racks that we will have along the property as well. And then have a rendering of, this is what the theater that you were on earlier, the stage, this is what the house will look like as we continue to develop it. So that was the tour, and at this point we would love to open it up for any questions.
And I'll just add in real quick too that what you didn't get to see were the 15 rehearsal studios. You were inside one of the dance studios, and there's 2 dedicated dance studios. Every studio, one of the biggest things with this building has been acoustics. So every studio is acoustically isolated from the next studio. So we could have a drumming group in one room and a poetry writing workshop in another room, and a yoga class and a quiet acting scene in a third room, and a choir in another room. So it's really, we've got large spaces and small spaces. We have a space for kids on the autism spectrum that's specifically designed for sensory friendly, so that where kids can deregulate, and we can do classes for those kids with all that equipment. And we have an art studio, production shop to build scenery and costumes, and all kinds of things. So we didn't get to go down the first floor very much, but there's a lot of process spaces in the building.
Yeah, because we envision that youth want to also learn the backstage elements, right? That's one area of programming, because we haven't had the space or the proper equipment to really have youth explore that, the technical arts, the back, and also like a maker space, right? If there's we have a spray paint booth in there, so if a child has an art project that they need to spray paint, they could use a spray paint booth. So we're looking at how we can meet the needs of the community in many different ways. And going back to what Roseanne said about the HVAC system, since we have really large ducts in the building and runs and chases, because we don't want to hear the sound going through when the HVAC kicks on. So what that enables us to do is, one, to flush the building quicker and for air for pandemic such as COVID, but we also are installing pinpoint ionization units, and we'll have the recommended MERV 13 filtration. So this building from an air quality standpoint will be really, really good. So I saw Susan had her hand up, but now she's on the phone. But any questions?
Open it up for questions. Who has questions for this group? The one thing I will say is, I had a tour with Alan a couple months ago, and this is an amazing video tour, but it doesn't do it justice of how big the facility it is. It really is amazing. What questions do we have for the team?
65,000 square feet, actually.
It's huge. Okay, I'll start off with the first question. How many different groups at any one time could be using the space? I mean, how, like maxed out, all the different rooms, how many kids could you have, and how many different groups will be participating?
Yeah, it's a great question. Pre-COVID, I think the hopes were it'd be very, very packed. So I think it's hard to say. What I can say is that we anticipate in 3 years, again, this was pre-COVID, that we would have over 25,000 youth coming through this building annually on an annual basis. We know that there are over 20 plus youth arts organizations that have already expressed interest about utilizing the facility in some way, shape, or form. And we are still discovering other youth art groups, and also what is a definition of performance art in other communities and cultures in and around Dane County. So again, we really are driving for, one, to have diversity of programming in the facility, and ensuring that it represents our community, our entire community. So it's not going to be all theater, it's not going to be all song or dance. We really envision a place where a child in a neighborhood walks in and gets inspired or just is curious and could look in, what's great is around every classroom there are windows, and so they can peek in and see and learn, and maybe want to try something new, unique, or different that they never were introduced to before. So really excited about the possibilities there.
Another question we have is, what kind of digital media features will the space have, i.e. recording, video, streaming, etc.?
Great question. So we have it, like I said, in a lot of the rehearsal rooms, especially the larger ones, there will be a built-in speaker systems, connectability with Bluetooth. In our performance spaces, in the theater, there will be a screen and a projector built into that space, as well as relays for conductor. Because one thing that's unique about the theater being up on the 4th floor is you can't really have a true orchestra pit. So Tulaski, our acoustician, built an amazing kind of pit off to the side. It's actually off to the right side as you're looking to the stage. It can have about a 10 instrument pit band that's specifically designed for the space, so that there's a window where the conductor can see the stage, but the actors will have 2 monitors up on the walls, essentially on the tech mez, where actors can see the conductor. If we needed to have a large orchestra, we could actually put them in the black box, and the music and the video could be piped into the theater space itself. So again, a lot of infrastructure put into to link the black box and theater space, as well as a back patio. We actually have a way, because there'll be a company switch. So let's say you had a youth group who has a band and they want to have a little concert on the back patio, they'd be able to do that too. And we could run lights out there as well. So a lot of portable systems, portable sound, portable lighting in the facility itself, because we also envision a lot of our large spaces that are classroom spaces could also be a performance space, easily converted. So again, flexibility was key. How can we utilize each room, each space to its maximum potential for not knowing what might possibly be in there?
And a very robust internet system, so that the signals are strong, and so you can be streaming, picking up a signal, or streaming out to other recipients, like with the Zoom platform and others.
And there will be
a couple of other questions in the chat there.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. And smart, Roseanne, because I hear the future is in the internet. We do have a question from Charlie Young, age 6. How many total rooms are in the building? There's Charlie. Hello, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. So
there are.
Go ahead, Roseanne. No, you do it.
There are 15 rehearsal spaces of varying sizes. There are 2 main performance spaces. There is open air sort of rooms for performances or programs or presentations in the lobby and on the back patio. And so all in all, there's about 20 spaces where presentations, classes, and programs can happen.
Charlie, you should see the amazing space building for the costume design and the set design. It is huge. I cannot wait. As a kid that loves Legos, myself, all over the place, I was going to go get my Legos, but I can't roll that far. It is amazing, Charlie. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Next question, and I think this is a good question, is what will schools be able to rent the space? And I should just add in, can civic organizations like DMI or other companies rent the space if they want to?
That's a great question. So obviously it's a community arts center as we see it, but youth have priority. Any youth organization, youth arts programming will have priority because it's a youth arts center. But that doesn't mean, right, Jason, if there's an open spot and you want to have a DMI meeting there, if we have the space and it's not, absolutely. So we envision there's going to be users who are maybe use a building and maybe sign a multiple year agreement. There are maybe users that are just signing an annual agreement, and then those that are drop in. But we also are wanting to ensure that this space is accessible from the start. So in our campaign, we built in an accessibility enduring access fund is what we call it. And that is to enable groups that don't have the means or have zero to little budget to be able to be in this space. So we're doing great programming, but they need space. So there will be a tiered system, and we're working through all of that right now of what is that going to look like? How are we going to ensure access and make sure that it's fair and equitable? So it takes a lot of time to ensure that. And so we don't have all the answers yet, but we are working through it. So, and in fact, in our operating agreement with Madison Youth Choirs and Children's Theater of Madison, we have clauses in there that safeguard so that we can't just monopolize the center, right? So that there's always room available for the community, so.
All right, we've got a couple more questions, but I know you have a few short videos. Do you want me to ask the questions now, or do you want to show the quick videos now?
I think we can probably skip over the summer stage video.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go on with a couple more questions. When will it open to the public?
Yeah, another great question. So that's been a moving, so obviously we want to open to the public when we can all be together, right? And we can gather and it's safe. So we are looking at most likely a public opening in the fall. And it might be an extended opening, right? As opposed to it being one day, here's the grand opening. It might be an opening weekend or an opening week, because we'll probably have to stagger in groups just to be safe. Because we don't want to have the opening just keep getting pushed on. So we will have occupancy the beginning of May. So we will be moving in, youth choirs will be moving in, the center staff will be moving in, and we will be tuning the building, getting used to the building during the month of May. And then mid-June, CTM is looking at doing some in-person, limited in-person in the building, and that'll be the first programming that will really happen within the center itself. And then, like I said, then hopefully a grand opening in the fall.
I am learning a tremendous amount. First of all, I had no idea what an Augustician is. Apparently you're supposed to tune a building.
Yes.
Two things that I learned today. Thank you, Alan and Roseanne. Next, really important question. Where is CTM in its capital campaign? And how are they addressing ongoing funding to support the operation of this new facility? So it's not just building the building. It's just like you spoke of a few seconds ago about the operating of the building. So how's the campaign going?
Yeah, so I'm excited to say, so we have $35 million goal. We are at 33.5 million, so we're 1.5 million away, so very close. And this last push, is they always say, is the hardest, and we know it. But really, it's probably the most important, because these are the funds that are going to supply access and ensure access. It'll ensure sustainability of operations, and it will also ensure capital improvements down the road. So part of what we did is like a three pools, but we put them all together, right? There's a construction and build out, there's the enduring access fund, and then there's a capital improvement endowment. So all of that together is wrapped in. So we're very close. So help us get to the finish line.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
And you know, it's also good to note that it's not a CTM solo project. We really wouldn't have been able to do it on our own. I mean, it's really because of the collaborative nature of the building and the fact that it's really there's an umbrella organization, which is Madison Youth Arts Center, Inc. They are the fiscal agent of the building, and they will be the owner operator of the building. CTM will have a permanent residency there and will contribute to the annual costs of being in the building. But the center itself will have its own staff in the same way the Overture Center has its staff. But the anchor partners will be much more integrally involved in the operation of the building than a standard tenancy kind of relationship. So it's definitely an interdependent kind of arrangement.
Well, let's help them get to that goal. I mean, now more than ever, folks, we need to support our arts, support Children's Theater, Madison Youth Arts Center, support Deb Gelbin and the amazing project she has, the outdoor play space behind her building, the team at the Overture, Emily and Chris, I know, are on today. We need to support our arts now more than ever. Speaking of which, unfortunately, you know, lots of people have had hard times with their jobs. How might your staff team be expanding or evolving to accommodate managing this new facility?
Yeah, so we are, as Roseanne said, we are hiring 2 staff right away. With actually, it's happening right now. They're in the middle of search and screening and the hiring process. So the center will be hiring a director of facilities and a director of community partnerships that will be co-leaders of the center working together. Again, one thing that we're looking at CTM, as well as a lot of organizations, how do we get out of triangles and working in circles? And so really from the start, having that dual leadership. So the director of community partnerships will be out working with the community, identifying groups that need to utilize the building. You know, what is that mix match? Like I said, how do we ensure equality? And the director of facilities will be working alongside, as well as how does a building operate? What are the systems? How are the systems supporting these groups and ensuring that they have what they need to be as successful as they can be? And then from there, those 2 leaders will hire support staff. But you know, the cleaning of the building will most likely be contracted out, you know, to start with, and other things. But yes, it will involve a lot more staff, and it might involve even some of the CTM staff and youth choir staff in the short term, how do we fill gaps, right? The whole purpose is how do we together build efficiencies, and there might be some greater efficiencies that come out of this.
Awesome. Next question is, will the public be able to enter the building and walk around the facility to see and hear the different things going on in the facility, like the youth practicing and playing their instruments, or choirs rehearsing, or will access be limited only to those there for classes/lessons?
The doors, the building will be open, so people can come in, and in fact, like the community rooms and the lounges and the lobbies and all that are definitely spaces that we want and encourage people to come and partake in. But because there'll be a lot of times when parents are waiting for their kids and kids are waiting in between. Every organization will have a little different kind of take on that. Some of them will have their doors completely open to their studios and really want people to be walking by and stopping and listening. And others, the classes might be a little bit more contained and want to, you know, have a little bit more privacy. So it'll be a mix of that. But no, you don't have to just be there to drop your student off and then go somewhere else and don't hear or see anything that's going on. We envision a lot of stuff happening all around in the building, in public spaces, as well as in the studios. And all the studios have a lot of glass, so that you can actually see into the studios from the hallways. We have the ability that if a teaching artist needs to have more privacy so the kids aren't distracted, they can pull down a curtain or a blind. But definitely sharing the work is a core value of what we're doing. So yeah, it will definitely be open.
In the long hallways too, what you didn't see is there are a lot of seating down those long corridors, little nooks and places for parents and youth to sit as well. So lots of places to sit and enjoy.
All right, last question. Who did you work on the HVAC system, which sounds very intricate?
So we have on the electrical side, ECI in 1901. 1901 is the HVAC contractor.
And they are so passionate about the developments in all of this, all of the COVID related and, you know, and all the research that's coming out about it. And it's been great to, you know, we started the building, the ground was broken before the pandemic. It was well underway when the pandemic hit. So, but it wasn't so far underway that we couldn't augment and adjust some of the HVAC systems once we learned more about what the research was showing to be effective and important for, but it was originally designed kind of with the school type of, you know, parameters where what we would need to have in a school system, and deal with, you know, kind of all of that. So we were a little bit ahead of the game. Yeah, 1901. That
Yeah,
was.
and then Ring and Do and Chateau was kind of the designers of making sure everything.
Perfect. Well, we will, I think you guys might have a little bit left before we end here, and then we will say our goodbyes.
Yeah, we just thought we would end with a little clip where the kids talk about why the arts matter to them and what excites them. And so there's never anything better than just hearing it from the people that we're actually reaching with our work. So just this a short little 30-second clip, and we'll share that with you, and then we can say goodbye.
CTM means to me community. There's a bunch of friends that I connect with after many years.
But every year you meet new people, and they're also passionate about everything.
It's just this great environment with all these wonderful people who want to be there just as much as you.
People at CTM are the coolest people I've ever met.
Thank you, CTM. We love you, CTM.
Awesome. Well, we cannot thank you enough, Alan and Roseanne, for the amazing tour, that literally a hard hat tour virtually. Cannot wait till we can all be there sometime soon, safe in that great space. You really have changed downtown for the better. This is just a dramatically important project for our community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of us for joining us here today. We really appreciate it. Thank you to our friends at Thompson Investment Management, at Hush Blackwell, and to Marissa and the team at JP Cullen. We hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. We've got our New Faces, New Places next up this Thursday at 4 o'clock with a beer tasting. So about the opposite flip of this event, but we've got a beer tasting with our friends from Wisconsin Distributors. And then look forward to our next virtual What's Up Downtown breakfast on the 25th with U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, talking about COVID relief, the economy, and the importance of downtowns. We hope you can join us for that as well. Lots of great things happening here at DMI. Check out our website, www.downtownmadison.org, for more information. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Madeline's laughing at me. And have a great day. Stay healthy and stay warm. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.